Okay, friends, thanks for joining me today, and welcome to anyone who's new to my channel. This video is several short little clips that I recorded just while I was doing some experimenting. I had kind of an idea in my head, and I wanted to just work through the process, so the finished piece is not something that is a professional piece in which that I would sell, but I hope that what you will get are some ideas that maybe you can use to create something that you would be happy selling. So I'm using a round tray mold, silicone tray mold from Dryer Days Art Studio that I had purchased quite some time ago, and I am filling it with just some glass beads that I purchased from Dollar General. Very pretty beads. I use them in a lot of my glass and resin projects, but here I decided to use it along the channel of the tray edge because I'm going to be using these mini Christmas lights, these battery operated Christmas lights, and I wanted a way to kind of hide that wire. And so you'll see me trying to attempt to put that wire in place, and I'm finding that I'm probably going to have something to secure that wire in and around so that it doesn't pop up after I've poured the resin. And so I played with it for a few minutes here, and then I find a way that I think that I'm going to be happier with. I'm holding one edge down because it pops up on the other side when I carry it around. And it's when I kind of become worried that it might pop up. So here I'm using another row of the beads to try to see if I can hold that wire down in place along that channel edge there. Then I realized that I have all this wire and Christmas lights still left, and then I would have to go around it again. So I'd start pulling some of those beads out of there, and know that I'm not going to be able to wind this around several times. And so I wind up just folding the wire in half and twisting the wire on itself and making a shorter wire. Now don't over twist it because you don't want to short circuit it. These lights are actually intended for the wine bottle art pieces, and you will see here in a second the little plastic cork type thing that sits down into the opening of the wine bottle, and it's where it's the battery pack basically, but it's small enough to really hide, or even if you wanted to on your last layer of resin, just kind of snuzzle it down in there so that your on-off switch is still easily accessible, and your little cavity that you stick your battery in is easily accessible. But I'm just twisting this around. It makes it a little bit sturdier to put down into that sidewall of this mold. So you really just kind of have to play with things, and eventually you can find a way to make it work, right? That's part of the fun of being an artist and finding ways to do your craft. And you can see it's pretty much nicely staying. I still have that first row of beads in place. Went ahead, and I'm still a little unsure of myself. I still see a little bit of that wire wanting to show. I think it would have been fine, but we will see. Okay, so I am going ahead. I've mixed my resin. I'm pouring my resin. I think I mixed about 6 ounces here. As you can see, 6 ounces wasn't going to quite do it. I had a wider opening on that that edge, on the channel edge there, and didn't account for that when I mixed my resin. So I'm just going to let that kind of get down into the nooks and crannies of the sidewalls. Try to pop any bubbles, but being very, very careful. You don't want to put your heat gun directly on a dry silicone mold, because you will most definitely warp your mold. Ask me how I know. But like I said, and experimentation is a good part of how we learn and grow. Okay, so just using up what I have left in this batch of resin, and kind of going to go in here in a minute and add a little bit more. Pop these bubbles and get ready for the next batch of silicone. You don't see me mixing it, because who wants to watch somebody stir resin for 3 minutes? I have plenty of videos here on my channel where, if you need to watch that, you're welcome to watch those. So I've mixed another, I think I mixed about 4 ounces this time, maybe 5 ounces, I can't remember. And I've mixed part of it in with some white glitter. I believe it's called Pinnical, and it's from Sandy's Art Corner. And then I'm using the rest in clear and filling that in. So in total here so far, I believe I have mixed around 10 ounces of resin. And I am using Pro Art resin. Now again, this is not a piece in the end. This is really just me in my studio playing to see if what I have in my head can effectively work on some of these. So I'm not looking to have a perfectly beautiful piece here. I'm just kind of playing. Okay, and a little bit more of that glittered resin in there, and I'll bring that out and try to distribute some of this glitter a little bit better. Now I do have this on hyperlapse, and I did not capture every bit of my process here, but I will walk you through what I don't have captured on video. And there's the Pinnical from Sandy's Art Corners. She has beautiful glitters. I'm telling you, she has a lot of them, and she has some beautiful glitters. She even has a subscription box if you don't even really want to have to think about buying glitter. She'll send it to you automatically. She usually does it on a theme based every month, and she's very generous with her glitters. So you get a lot for your money. So I'm going to let this set. Okay, the next day, this is part of it that I did not video. I thought I had turned on my video camera and had not, but you'll see that I have a picture of a Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus that I freehanded on the front side of the tray. And what I've used here is, this is a Resin product, and it basically has heavy-bodied acrylic paint in a paint tip applicator. And that was a rose gold. This is a Viva Pearl colored. It's essentially the same thing, the same type of thing. This I got from Laura's Art Studio, or Laura's Art Corner. I love these pens. They are so easy to use. They stay right where you leave them. The other one I got from Hobby Lobby, the Resin one, I got from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they still carry them there or not though, but I'm sure you can probably find it on Amazon or other craft stores. But I used the rose gold there on the inside around the faces, and the pearl colored around the rest of it. And I basically just freehanded a picture. I actually kind of sketched something out ahead of time, what I thought I would want, and got it centered and went ahead and put it on there. So I'm just kind of giving you a close-up here on this footage, showing you that I didn't even get my glitter even, but I did put some pretty sprinkles of some of the Let's Resin gold glass chips in there. They come in a 2-pack. One's a container of gold, one's silver, and I absolutely love that stuff. I use it on a lot of products. So here I am now, and I'm just using, you've seen me do this before on my other videos. If you haven't, I will certainly link another video below. I'm just using a mixture of my Deco Art Duraclear gloss varnish. You saw me just pour it in right there into some glitter, just a little bit of a glitter. And I'm using a small applicator, just any type of applicator that you feel like you have the most control over. I'm actually using some of those mini toothette type things for mouth hygiene. I got it off of Amazon. You get 300 of them, I think, for next to nothing, and they really come in handy for something like this. And I'm just putting it in different colors in place where I want them. So I'm using the Pinnical glitter. It's a very fine white holographic glitter for the baby's blanket. And I'm using a peachy color for the faces here. And Joseph's hand. And I used a very pale gold for the gold aura around baby Jesus. And I'm using a kind of a two-toned emerald green from Laura's Art Corner. It's beautiful, beautiful color. I will have all of this listed down in the description below. Now, I do have a affiliate discount code for 10% off at Dryer Days Art Studio, which is where I bought my mold from, that you're welcome to use. Yes, I do get, some incentive from that. However, everywhere else that I link, I do not get any type of an incentive or a payback for. I just want to share this information with you guys. So even if you just go to Dryer Days directly, that is fine with me. I just want to be able to support the companies that I truly love and use often, as well as support anyone who supports my channel here and are followers of mine. So please know with assurance that any links that I put here are for your benefit more than for mine. All right, so I think I'm using Gulf Coast. Believe that is also from Sandy's Organized Chaos. I'm currently using Sapphire, which is a fine cut glitter from Sandy's Organized Chaos. I use a lot of her glitters. She sells a lot of her glitters to tumbler makers, and I do tumblers on the side on occasion, and it is more of a side gig for me as an artist. I stay pretty busy doing my other things, but you really get a lot of bang for your buck with her. And her and her husband take such good care in packaging their items and are very generous people. All right, so you can see that I'm kind of on hyperlapse here. I'm doing Joseph's robe here with kind of a gunmetal color, a silvery gray metallic, and the name of that is Chalkboard. Very pretty and sparkly. And there it is, close up. And you will see me rub this the next day. It is good and firm. It's pretty permanent just as it is. It does not come off when you do it that way and apply it that way. But I'm going to use my a little bit of my Pro Art resin again, and I'm going to put another layer of resin just on top of the applique here that I'm using as my decorative element for the piece. And I'm taking care to go all the way up to the edge. Now the lines that I created with my paint pins, or my my Viva and Bria Reese paint pins that I used, they are raised, but I am going around all the way to the perimeter and not over that. My goal is to try hard not to go over that, because I don't really want to add more resin than I need to when I'm experimenting. If for some reason I happen to have a spillover onto the rest of this tray here, I would just add more of the resin and resin the whole front of it, but I really wasn't wanting to do that at this point. So I'm just taking my time, going slowly around, making sure that I have full coverage. Very easy. And I'm just turning my plate as I go, so that I can make sure that I'm reaching it, so that I can make sure that I'm not going over the edge, and so that I can make sure that as the light hits it, I can see how much coverage I have in certain areas. And if there's any areas that has any dimpling or needs a little bit, another drop or so of it, then I'll just go ahead and add it to it, just as I'm doing right now. Guys, I really appreciate you joining me here today. If you're not already a subscriber and you're finding value in this video or other videos that I've made, I'd really appreciate your support by subscribing. I'd love for you to comment and tell me what you think and how you might use any of this information on some of your future projects. And hit that like button by all means, and feel free to share. I'm very grateful for you being here today and watching this video, and it means the world to me, and it really helps my channel to grow. So a little bit of a close-up there. That little bit of extra resin really helps to bring that sparkle out too. I know that the high gloss Duraclear varnish really helps to leave a very sparkly shine on it, but there's just something that resin does that no other medium that I know of has the ability to do it. All right, here it is. It's finished, and I have it in my dark corner in a bookcase there, and it's on an acrylic stand, and you can see how it looks. I would have added probably some more glitter around the edges, but I think it's just fine for an experiment, and I really like it. This is something that I'll keep for myself. It's not something professional that I would sell, but here it is. I hope you like it. Thank you once again for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Blessings.